Good day, TikTok. How you guys doing? I'm not sure if you guys had the opportunity to watch that game last night between, especially the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers. I called that game wrong, believe it or not. I am not a LeBron James fan, but I called that game wrong. I said, believe it or not, I said the Lakers were going to win that game. Boy, was I wrong. The so-called GOAT of the league, the so-called face of the league, like the Millennium's favorite player in the entire world, he's on the verge of getting swept by the same team for the second time in 2 years. Not to mention, let me put it this way. The Denver Nuggets swept them last year. During this season, beat them up to date 11 straight times. Now they have one more game to sweep them and beat them 12 straight times. And you guys still want to walk around with that whole myth that LeBron James is by far forget about even being the best player. LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan? Are you guys sure you want to stick with that theory? I can honestly say, because I had the opportunity to watch all of Michael Jordan's career, he never, I'm going to say it again, never lost to a team 11 straight times. People are going to want to talk about the Boston Celtics beating the Chicago Bulls. I think they beat them maybe about 9 times or 10 times that season. You guys go back and do your research. Michael Jordan was injured that season. He came back for the playoffs. And that when he came back in the playoffs and played against Boston, that was the time he wet Larry Bird up for 63 points. Okay? So, once again, I'm going to say it. The only so-called superstar I know that's lost to one team 11 going on 12 straight times is your so-called GOAT. Is it safe to say that we could no longer put this man in the greatest player of all time conversation? Is it safe to say that? Can I have some of you millennium babies step off of your high horse and we could just meet in the medium and say that LeBron James is one of very many great players that played in the league, but he is far from the greatest? What more proof do you guys need? What more proof do you guys need? Last night, the Lakers, and like I said, I was one of the idiots that picked the Lakers to win on their home court last night based on the way they played in game 2 in Denver's house. I said, the Lakers played well enough to win the game in game 2. So because they're going home, they have home court advantage the whole bit. If they play the same system, they should win game 2. And the Lakers started off with a bang. They started off strong as hell. Coming out there and I'm telling you, man, I think they went on an 8-0 run and Denver had to call a quick timeout. And, throughout the first quarter and stuff like that, they were doing a lot of good things, a lot of beautiful things. But the thing that stood out in my mind is, as well as the Lakers were playing, Denver was down by 7. Like, the lead never got out of hand. And they never seemed rattled. They just continued to stay the course, continued to just run their schemes. But what really messed them up is Gordon. They could not contain Gordon. Gordon was killing them with backdoor cuts. And correct me if I'm wrong. When they were playing man-on-man defense, wasn't Aaron Gordon LeBron James's responsibility? Wasn't that his defensive responsibility? Wasn't that his man? But yet still, his man was cleaning boards, getting putbacks, getting slam dunks, cutting backdoor. And you didn't hear nothing about LeBron James' poor lack of defense. Now, I'm going to give LeBron James a little bit of credit. To be on the court at the age of 39 with these young guns, you deserve a little bit of credit for that. You and, of course, allegedly the PEDs. But all that being said, you deserve some credit for that. To be 39 years of age and still be out there running and gunning, well, running, not too much gunning, but doing a little bit of running with these cats when you can. As an older individual, I kind of respect that. I couldn't do it. But at some point in time, honestly speaking, I think that every superstar needs to realize when they start to lose a step. And the majority of superstars, the Michael Jordans of the world, the Kobe Bryants of the world, the Magic Johnsons of the world, when they got a little bit older and they started losing their steps, they modified their game. They modified their game to work with the skill set that they had at that particular point in time. LeBron James hasn't really done too much modification of his game. He still wants to be ball dominant. He still wants to be playing in positions that really and truly, especially at this point in time in his career, he has no business playing. There's no reason. Well, okay, I understand with the pick and roll and then you get the switch and you get a smaller guard on you. I understand that. But realistically speaking, 260-something pounds or 250 pounds, 6'7", 6'8", your tail should be down on the blocks. With that size body, you should be boxing people out. Even if you can't get a rebound yourself, just put your body on somebody. There's nobody running through you. There's nobody running through you or over you. But you have too much of a finesse game where you don't like the physical contact. You never did. I was one that called that out from the very get-go. That you were always an individual that you were not about physical contact. You were not one of those individuals that was going to drive to the basket and dunk it on somebody. You would dunk, but you would have to have that wide open lane. If there was somebody there to challenge you, well, then you, in your younger days, you would find a way to finesse it up there and get it on the rim. And that was my one issue back in the day when you were one of my guys that I had with you. Because the simple fact of the matter that I could not understand why an individual like you didn't have much more of a killer instinct. I was used to seeing killer instincts. Remember, I grew up watching Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had a killer instinct. So, don't get me wrong. I still loved your game when you came into the league for whatever reason, because I was like everybody else. I was brainwashed by what the media was feeding me, instead of using my own eyes to make my own determination kind of thing. But that's okay. I was young. So I chalk it up as to just being young, naive. I got older and wiser. And as I said before, when you hear me pick at your game, I'm picking at your game in the column of being the greatest. That's where I'm dissecting your game from. I'm dissecting your game when they're trying to compare you to people that I know that were actually great, that I got to witness their greatness. That's where I'm dissecting your game from. LeBron James, you are a very effective individual in the game. The younger LeBron James, yes, you were very effective. You were one of the best players in the league. But when I say one of the best players, that's just one of. With the skills that you had, you were not an individual that should have been the face of the league. That's my personal opinion. They would have been better off making Steph Curry the face of the league. He has more armor than you, does he not? He defeated you how many times? That being said, people, I do believe that this will be the last game for the Lakers on Saturday, I believe it is. They're going to get swept. And then they're going to break up that whole team. And then I'm going to wait for all the excuses that the LeBronites are going to make. Share, like, and subscribe. Help this channel grow. Double Innocence with your boy E-Dub is out!